So
Yes.
I lost my job when my wife was pregnant with our second child, and I found myself as an unplanned business owner in 2010. And I worked really hard. I look up one day and I have 30 employees, and I'm working 70, 80-hour weeks. And I would leave the house before the kids got out of bed. I would get home just enough time to kiss them goodnight. My wife was supportive, but our marriage was stagnant. And what I saw in general was they were unhealthy. They were on their third or fourth marriage. They had maybe some money and financial success, but they didn't have a great relationship with their kids in general, right? What I saw, across the industry or across other business owners, what I saw was something I didn't like. And so I went down this road of reading books about business and reading books about leadership to make sure that I was doing everything I could to prevent that sad story. A lot of business owners become married to their business, it becomes their identity, and they give up so much or they sacrifice so much for that business, all in the name of providing for their family or doing the right thing or maybe even just puffing their own egos of how successful they were. And I didn't like that. Business owners get all kinds of mixed reactions to the word profit sharing. Some of them are scared, some of them are curious, some of them don't want to, that sounds crazy. I already paid them. Thoughts and, first impressions. And so my business from 2018 to present day exploded. In that time, I have acquired other and started other businesses and implemented this system in them in all kinds of industries. And I've seen a wild amount of success from it. But also, the beauty about all this is that your employees become team members, they become partners in your business where your goals become aligned and they help you run and work your organization to be successful for everybody in the company. And even your customers notice a better
Mhm.
experience. I have an amazing marriage. I can be a dad and I can be a husband and I can be a business owner and a leader in my fields and help change lives for the better with people making more money, people being more satisfied at work.
Hello, Rob. So nice to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm very happy. And as I was telling you just 1 minute before we started, that this is podcast where we are flowing in conversation, means that we are just sharing who we are and what we love to create, because I believe that this is how we inspire, and this is how we change the world, by being ourselves in freedom, no masks, and sharing in the now through the heart. And this is how our voices also inspire others through what you're doing, through what you're creating, through what you do in this world, no? Being in service for others in this world, because many of the ones that are here in the podcast that join me in co-creation in this podcast, it's because they are in service to something bigger than themselves. They had an experience in their lives that they want to share with others, empower others, and by walking their talk, they are the example of what they want to see. So I know that you are here also because of that, because you are the example of what you want to see. You have an experience and you're showing others how it is, no? And yeah, teaching them and serving them so that they can also grow in whatever field you are. So you're really a creator, and I'm very happy to have you here.
Great. Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, I'm very happy. So I would love for you to share your why you're here. Basically,
Okay.
where you here means who you are today and why.
Yeah. I am a husband and father,
Mhm.
a business owner, a multiple business owner. And I'll tell you a little bit of a story of how I got here. That kind of explains a lot. So
Yes.
I lost my job when my wife was pregnant with our second child, and I found myself as an unplanned business owner in 2010. And I worked really hard. I was successful right away financially.
Mm-hmm.
3 years, 4 years goes by. I look up one day and I have 30 employees and I'm working 70, 80-hour weeks. And I would leave the house before the kids got out of bed. I would get home just enough time to kiss them goodnight. My wife was supportive, but our marriage was stagnant. We did not
Mm-hmm.
spend a lot of time together. And so I started down this journey of self-education of trying to figure out if I was doing things correctly, right? I knew a lot of other business owners. I could see how, especially the older ones, I could see how their life was turning out. And what I saw in general was they were unhealthy. They were on their third or fourth marriage. They had maybe some money and financial success, but they didn't have a great relationship with their kids in general, right? There's always the exceptions, but just
Yeah.
what I saw, across the industry or across other business owners, what I saw was something I didn't like. And so I went down this road of reading books about business and reading books about leadership to make sure that I was doing everything I could to prevent that sad story when I
Mm-hmm.
feel it's sad and unfortunate. A lot of business owners become married to their business. It becomes their identity and they give up so much or they sacrifice so much for that business, all in the name of providing for their family or doing the right thing or maybe even just puffing their own egos of how successful they were. And I didn't like that. I took my fatherhood and my marriage serious, and that takes time and work also.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that journey of reading about business operations and leadership, I learned a lot of things I implemented right away, a lot of things I still work on implementing every day. But I stumbled across this idea of profit sharing,
Yeah.
and it's a pretty fancy buzzword. Everybody ears perk up when they hear it, especially employees. This sounds like they're going to make more money. They want to know more about it. Business owners get all kinds of mixed reactions to the word profit sharing. Some of them are scared. Some of them are curious. Some of them don't want to, that sounds crazy. Why would I do that? I already paid them. Those type of those type of thoughts and, first impressions. So, but like most, I was intrigued also, and I started to dive deeper and research this idea of profit sharing. And I read every book I could find on profit sharing, every article, every YouTube video. This is back in 2014
Mm-hmm.
on profit sharing. And what I found was just a lot of theory, a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people saying to do it. It's a great idea, but there was no how to. There was no black and white step by step guide to implement profit sharing, and there was no how to, or not even what you needed to
Mm-hmm.
do profit sharing correctly and be successful with it. I found a lot of negative about it. A lot of people, I've heard stories of people trying it and it didn't work out. And so but I was determined to try it. Like I was like most, I was like, this sounds great. The theory sounds amazing. If this could work, it would be incredible. So one day in 2000, near the end of 2014, I brought together two of my top leaders at the time, brought them to my office and sat down and said, I want to try profit sharing. I don't know what that looks like. You two are going to help me. We're going to figure this out together, right?
Yes.
This is not something I want just to come from the top down, just an owner saying, pushing this on their people and expecting all these results. So together we drew up a plan. And long story short, the first quarter of 2015, we cut profit sharing checks and it was a total disaster.
Mm-hmm.
There was no ROI on it. The emotions were extremely mixed. It did not increase unity. It did not increase. We did not hit our goals easier from it. And I think at that point, most people would have given up and they would have been like, oh, that didn't work. On to the next thing we want to try. But I didn't want to give up on it. And It took about 3 years of back and forth, tons of feedback, meetings. We got a lot of feedback from the team that was on the profit sharing at the time, and to get their thoughts, their input on what it was meant to do. Was it working? Was it not working? And in 2018, we, with a lot of trial and error, we came up with a very successful, efficient, productive profit sharing program. And so my business from 2018 to present day exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And I in that time I have acquired other and started other businesses and implemented this system in them in all kinds of industries. And I've seen a wild amount of success from it. And that kind of success brought a lot of attention. And I had other business owners coming to me asking me what I was doing and how I was doing it. So I started one-on-one coaching with them, teaching them and getting it set up in their business. They were having success with it. And that led to taking up a lot of my time. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought, it wasn't even my idea. Somebody suggested to me, maybe you should write this down. So I wrote a book about
Mm.
profit sharing, and in that book are a lot of the stories and the rules that I've come up with and everything you needed to implement a profit sharing program. But it wasn't everything about profit sharing. It's hard to put all that stuff in a book. So I have continued on to creating a course. It's 27 videos. It has the spreadsheets that we use, sample speeches and kickoff ideas of how to do this, meeting agendas of what to do when you're talking about profit sharing, how often and when, to set this whole all up in your business to get the results that the business owner is looking for. But also, the beauty about all this is that your employees become team members. They become partners in your business where your goals become aligned and they help you run and work your organization to be successful for everybody in the company. And even your customers notice a better
Mm-hmm.
experience. And so it's a win for the business owner, it's a win for the team members, and it's a win for your customers, which are all the things that you needed to have a very successful organization. So in a nutshell, excuse me, that's what I've been working on for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share that with other business owners because I have a large family that is beautiful and amazing. I have an amazing marriage, and I have a very balanced, what I think is balanced, whatever that means to a lot of people, life where I can be a dad and I can be a husband and I can be a business owner and a leader in my fields and help change lives for the better with people making more money, people being more satisfied at work, people working with stallions, not donkeys every day. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants the same thing and they all work together towards those goals.
Yes, as I'm listening to you, it's the leadership. What you do through that, it's a tool, but you
Right.
enhance and motivate everyone to be part of the company business-wise, but also to 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 be part of it by creating what they love, by really being aligned with what they're doing, with what they're creating, no? And with what they're co-creating together with others. So it's not only that I get a share of the company the way you you define it, but it's not that I get something. It's it's because I'm really part of the company. I'm co-creating. What I do impacts others, and from there, everyone is receiving something, not only me.
Right. Correct. It's just unifying. It's unifying a group of people in an organization to the same goal
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, and people have to go to work, right? We
Yes.
have bills to pay, and it's just part of the way the world works. And so you're already putting an effort to get out of bed every day, to prepare yourself, to have the tools and the skills that you've learned your whole life to do that job. And then you get there and it can be boring and it can
Yes.
be, toxic, or it can be a hostile environment where you don't enjoy your coworkers, you don't enjoy your boss, you don't
Mm.
you don't enjoy what you do, or the customers. And this has been a really good way that I found that unifies that and brings that together. And no matter what you do, if you're cleaning toilets or building sky rises, winning is fun and being successful is fun. And if you can add that element into whatever you do, it creates a great cohesion of your workplace to want to do it every day.
Mm. So it's in reality, it's a mindset change, a perception change.
Correct.
Because you're not only going to work because of earning money and because of, well, you have to work and earn money and working for someone else. You're going to work because you are creating something, and it means something, not only in your pocket, in everyone's pockets. So really, it's a mindset change, no? It's not that it's not I'm an employee and the owner is responsible for the company and I'm just okay, I'm an employee, I don't like the work, I just go and I drop the pencil and I leave at the time when I have to leave.
Right.
It's the other, it changes them in the way that they say, okay, I'm going to a place where I'm part of it, where what I do matters, where what I share with others matters because I'm getting something and they are getting something. And together we are moving towards the same goal and together we are doing something.
Yeah, 100%. It's the biggest mindset thing that you see that I've seen and my customers see is that you turn an employee into a team member,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Employees do the bare minimum of work to not get fired, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's the dangerous part. They're going to say yes, boss, and depending on the leader, how clear you are with your deadlines and
Mm-hmm.
the metrics and what the scope, what their KPIs are, and if they're a decent employee, they're going to do that, right? But they're never going to go outside of that. They're never going to go what we call the extra mile, right? They're never
Mm-hmm.
going
Yeah.
to go out of their way to be extra prepared or to be more coachable or even ask. I mean, how about an employee ask, "Hey, what can I do to help make this better?"
Mm-hmm.
Or to improve a spreadsheet that they're responsible for, or to improve a process that they're involved in. And profit sharing really turns on your employees' daily thoughts and activities to further that goal every single day, which is in an organization in business, it's making a profit, right? Happy customers, you got to have revenue, you got to have your cost of goods sold. But at the end of the day, a company has to have profit or they're not a company for very long, right? They go out of business and everyone has to find new jobs doing the same thing for the same type of leader. So profit sharing it's bought back my time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go into the office anymore and have to make all these really little decisions and micromanage people. I have a team of people around me all throughout my organization that want the same thing. They make decisions every day that reduce costs and increase revenue, which both those things together can increase profit. And so it's more rewarding for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the company financially is more rewarded, and we share that.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea of it. And to all the business owners out there listening, thinking about this, they have a lot of questions, right? And I wanted to, if you allow me to answer a few of those before they decide that this is not going to work for them.
Yeah. I mean, before you do that, I want to highlight self-leadership because I believe what changes in people is the self-leadership. So self-leadership is this responsibility. Everyone has a responsibility for what they are creating in the company because they're seeing it in the money and then what they are receiving, but also because really it changes the mindset in the way that it's like you were saying, a team. So it's me for you, you for me. So the values, I imagine the values increase also within the company, the team. There's much more motivation in each of the team members, in this case, no employees. But
Yeah.
yeah, self-responsibility. Certain things switches in you that and everyone is rowing towards the same goal because everyone is in the same place and everyone is working for everyone else.
Yeah, 100% correct.
Yeah.
It's a
So
beautiful thing when
sorry.
you have a team. Yeah, when you have a team that all wants the same thing and they're all
It's
willing to do
amazing.
their part, you can't lose.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing because it's so beautiful to see when people are rowing together with the same pace, with the same alignment, with the same values, with the same culture. So everything changes within them, no, in the team, and also with the stakeholders. The energy is projected outwards. Yeah.
100%. It's really cool. It's something I see every day and something I've seen and worked towards 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And to have a system that's clear and that exactly lays out how to do it and what everything that the business owner needs to have first before they do it. It's just really cool to be able to provide that and to be part of creating that system and to see the results that we get in business every day. You know, business owners are looking for an edge, right? It's a competitive marketplace. There's a guy that's right behind you, ready to do what you're willing not to do, and or to do something better or more than
Mm-hmm.
doing. And so this is a really good way to sharpen that edge and to go into the marketplace and help that company win. And ultimately, what I think about is feeding my kids, right? Providing for
Yes.
my children, you know, and there's a lot that goes into that, but that's the motivation that I have to get out of bed every day,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, and to win. So,
Yes, yes, and I was going to tell you that I just lost it, but it's no, no, no. For the people, every company at the end, every organization is behind every organization, behind every project, there are people. So if people are happy, you turn them around through that. You're turning them around. They're motivating. You're empowering them. So they change. They get motivated, and so the company changes. There's no other way because if they are happy, a company is happy. The whole company is happy.
right.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. The individual parts of a company make up what the company is.
Yes, and
So,
people are companies.
and yeah, right. Nobody wants to work. You know, there's a saying that I say is that we all want to work with people we like.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if the company is called Apple or
Yeah.
Banana or
No.
Orange. It's
Yeah.
the people and the product that they're going for, the service.
Yes. Yes. So go ahead and you were going to answer some questions for
Oh yeah.
whoever
So
was was looking into that and wasn't sure about that. We spoke a lot of the positiveness of it because I feel it's leadership at the end. It's true leadership, no, and it's people generate companies, but maybe you have more answers, business answers that
yeah,
they
yeah.
can they can
Well, a
look
lot of
into that.
business owners, yeah, listening right now, or a lot of them I deal with that come to me, you know, they have questions and they have objections to this whole idea. You know, one of the things I hear is, "Oh, I built this company right from the
Mm-hmm.
ground up. I remember the day when it was just me in my garage
Yeah.
or me at a desk in my living room, and so whatever reward, whatever success that we have, it's all mine." And
Mm,
I don't
mm,
disagree with
mm.
that. They're not wrong. You know, they did build it. That company wouldn't be there if it wasn't for them. But the question I ask them is if, well, how much more success would you have if your team was aligned with you,
Yes.
right? If you could turn that employee into a team member, then what more could you get and could they get, right? Create a win-win. You know, life is not about, in my experience, I have never been part of a situation that was a win-lose, even if I won. And I'm a very competitive person. I like sports. I like competition. I like to win. I like to work really hard to win. But I'm not talking about winning a football game
Yeah.
or a race or a competitive card game or competition. But you know, like the one thing I think about too is like having an argument with your spouse. and people want to win these arguments, right? They want to be right. And then when you get done fighting with the person that you partnering in life with, and you won and they lost, did you really win? Did that marriage win at the end of the day, right? You may feel better for a few minutes because you're declared the winner of whatever stupid argument that you're having, but the marriage hurts, right? There was no progress in that relationship. So it's the same thing in business, that if we can create win-wins every day and look for ways to create win-wins where our customer wins and your business wins, or your team members win and the business wins. And how about a win-win-win where all three of
It's the best.
where all three of them are winning, and there's no fighting, there's no loss in that. And so that's what I would ask. That's what I tell the business owners out there, that because the people that think that everything is theirs and that they have to win, and if that means their employees lose or their customer loses or they can take advantage of a situation, it's not a win. It's not a true win for success. So that would be my first answer back to them. The other thing that comes up a lot too is, as business owners, we get stuck in the cost of everything and the ROI that we get, right? When we buy lumber for a project, we have to know that we're going to make some kind of profit on that material when we install it. So there's an ROI on everything that we spend. When we rent a building or buy a building, what is that building going to provide to this company that creates profit, that creates, viability for the company? So with the profit sharing program, what is this going to cost me and how much am I going to make more? Well, in my program, the system that I teach and what I've set up is that this profit sharing program doesn't cost you anything unless the company makes it. So you can't lose if you do it properly. There's no loss in it. It's just only stuff to gain for you and your team members. And that's what's cool about it. The owner is not paying out extra money and making less with the profit sharing program. He or she only paying out extra money when they make more money, and your team members only make more money when they provide the wins, the extra revenue to make that happen, or reducing costs, and hopefully a combination of both. So I talk a lot about that in the book and in the course. I get really into the detail on how all that works, but there is no negative ROI on the correct profit sharing program. And one thing to tie back into what you were saying earlier, Jeannette, was leadership. You were talking about self-leadership and taking accountability for things, which is one of our core values. I have 6 of them. The cool thing about profit sharing and accountability and tying all this stuff in together is that there's actually teeth into it, right? How many companies will do like, our core value is integrity, and our core value is service, customer service, and all these things. But what do those things really mean? Like when it comes down to the end of the day, what do we really care? Is it changing anything that we do every day? Is there any like real meaning to this? And with profit sharing, when you're tying in people's monthly financial needle into their core values and the success of the company, it does mean stuff, right? One of the things I noticed was, so one of the things I'll share this with business owners listening is, we started out profit sharing, doing it every quarter, because that's just what I knew. You always hear the corporate America quarterly bonuses, right? And so we started out every quarter, we're going to look at our P&Ls, and if we make money, we're going to share a percentage of that to our team members that help us make that profit. The problem with quarterly bonuses is no one thinks about a quarterly bonus you're going to get paid out in the middle of April, right? For the first quarter, January, February, March. Nobody thinks about that bonus in January and February. So they're not changing their behavior or doing things to get that bonus that's 60 days away or 90 days away. So we learned that was one of the first things we did, was go from quarterly to monthly. And there's a couple of reasons for that. If you and I were having a cup of coffee somewhere, we wouldn't talk about our quarterly rent costs. We wouldn't talk about our quarterly car payment.
No.
Yeah, we wouldn't, you never hear people say these words.
No,
They don't
no.
say, oh, my quarterly groceries are X amount per quarter, right? Everything we talk about financially is monthly.
Yes.
Products that we buy, services that we look at purchasing have a monthly cost, right? Your cable bill, cell phone, groceries, rent, insurance, whatever it is. So by paying out quarterly bonuses, you're missing the boat on people thinking about their monthly financial needle. And that's when I realized that, and we were able to tie the profit sharing program directly into their monthly financial needle. That's when we saw a huge difference in their daily activities, right?
Yes.
Making it a real life for them,
Yeah.
making this a
Day to
reality,
day.
right?
Yeah. Day to
Changing
day.
their perception on, okay, maybe my boss is going to give me this bonus 65 days from
Mm-hmm.
now, but I got bills due on the
Mm-hmm.
31st, right? So that bonus is not going to pay those bills because it may come in April. Probably is going to come because we're working really hard, maybe. But maybe it's not. So nothing I can do today to change my bills for this month.
Yes.
By changing them to monthly, that's when you can change their life, right? You can directly inject into their monthly gas tank, right? Because every
Mm-hmm.
time you get paid, the gas tank gets full.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have bills and life and everything else sucking out of that gas tank that we burn up every day. And by doing the monthly profit sharing injection monthly, it actually changes what people do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the first week of that month, because they're thinking about those bills that month. And I got a lot of stories and examples of this. One of the ones I say a lot is I noticed I have a construction company. It's one of my companies. And my estimators, my project managers, and my service managers, my superintendents spend a lot of time in the car, right?
Yes.
They can go to 4 job sites in a day. They got to drive from job site to job site to job site. And what I saw, and I didn't tell them this, I didn't recommend this. This is just something that I saw. Instead of listening to the radio,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
zoning out to music,
Yes.
they were making more phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
They were double and triple checking on materials, on the guys, making sure no one had questions. And then when they couldn't do any of that or all that was done, they were listening to podcasts about leadership or operations or marketing. They started doing things in those little moments of our day that are often wasted and we're not engaged with reality. They started doing things to improve themselves. And then they could bring that back to the table. And, I don't know if you've ever worked on a team or been a part of these organizations, but you can
Yes.
see and sense when others are upping their game,
Yes.
right? I think the
Yes.
I think the
100%.
kids these days call it a glow up. And somebody's glowing up, somebody's learning about operations, they're learning about sales, they're learning about stuff. And this starts trickling out in meetings and in daily discussions, and everybody else notices, and then they start elevating their game, even just by listening and hearing the little tidbits that one individual is putting out there. So by having profit sharing, I saw multiple team members start this process, start doing this stuff, and then other people want to do it too because man, that's interesting, right? Or I don't want to be left behind. John over here is talking about how we can increase our efficiency by 8% by implementing these 3 little things. Where did he learn that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's been working here every day as long as I have. He's not out going to college or some other business seminar, but he's getting this stuff in the 20 minutes or an hour a day that he's behind the wheel of a car and listening to all this amazing free stuff we get on the internet that's out
Yes.
there floating
Yes.
around. And they're making changes little by little over time that have a big impact.
And that they see the impact in the moment in their day to day. That's the
Right. They
difference. Yes.
see they see the impact in their bank account.
Yes. In the month where they have to pay the same
Bills. Yeah.
the
It's not a
bills.
yearly
No.
bonus. That's a waste of money. Stop doing that if you're a business owner. Nobody thinks about it till the week before they get it.
Yeah.
It can make a fun Christmas party when everybody gets their checks. Everybody's really, really happy, but you didn't change any lives.
No.
You didn't
No.
help them for the next month, or you
Yeah.
definitely by February, it's gone and forgotten. There's no
Yeah.
more ROI on that money. But having a monthly profit sharing program rewards the business owner, the team members and your customers month after month after month.
It's like when you hear, no, change your habit in 45 days, or I don't know how many days they are, no, 21 days, I think. Every day you're changing so that it becomes natural. In this way, it really changing people, their mindset, because they are seeing the result after those 30 days. So in reality, you're changing the point of view of people of really working for themselves, not working for someone else. They're working for themselves. And when you work for themselves, it's self-leadership, it's all those things that really grow you. So in reality, then you start working from the inside out, realizing many other things that you naturally, well, not naturally, you have unlearned, and that you are now looking at, because now you're working for yourself. Entrepreneurs, it's like an entrepreneur. When you start a business, you have to become aware of everything that's happening around you and inside of you, because you want things to grow, and through that you grow yourself through observation. So you're really changing mindsets because it's happening on a monthly basis.
Yeah, 100%. You're working for yourself, but for yourself to be the most successful, the team has to be successful.
Yes.
So that's the thing, because I get some of the questions I get sometimes are about, well, what about commission? Right. And I hate commissions. Because when you have a commission sales team,
now it's for you.
Yeah, it's for themselves, right?
For them.
They don't work with their coworkers. They don't help track down leads. Everything is very selfish. Everything is, this is my customer. This is my lead. These are my numbers. This is my whatever. My commission check depends on this stuff, right? So if you set yourself up for that, you're inviting animosity in your workplace. You're inviting fighting. You're inviting, gossip, competition inside of your building. Between these people that are supposed to help you win, and they're not united, and it's disaster. And I don't know why or how people get away with that. I don't know all the cases. I get a lot of arguments on that. I'm sure there'll be some comments about that. But when you can take a sales team and put them behind one or two or three, the common goals that they can all work towards, because I have a car wash also, and this is a cool thing that I saw in my car wash is we want somebody greeting the customers when they come in and are asking them what they need and what they're there for, right? And we have a list of services, and then their job is to explain those services so that the customer gets what they want. And, the capitalist in me is to try to get them to buy a higher package, right? To get them, to make them, happier with the services. They get more options and a better, cleaner car. And what happened was we had profit sharing over there, and we were making sure that we were training our people to sell these memberships or sell the higher wash packages to our customers. And then the idea was that my idea and the manager's idea was that we would have a rotating shift on who was going to be there. And I think it was every 2 hours. And we're open 12 hours a day. So in one day, there was going to be 6 different people at that pay station selling memberships or upselling a retail wash. What happened was, since they were on profit sharing, the managers, the assistant managers, what we call key holders, started putting in the best people that were selling more, right? So they were like, okay, Johnny's really good at selling these. Sally, she's new. She hasn't gotten all the training or all the experience yet, but Sally's supposed to be there for 2 hours. Johnny's supposed to be there for 2 hours. But when Johnny's there, we're selling twice as many more in those 2 hours than when Sally's there. So how do we figure out a way to get Johnny there for 4 hours and Sally can cover Johnny's other duties on site so that our sales are higher? And I didn't make those decisions. The site manager didn't do that. Yeah, the key holders within themselves that are on profit sharing, figuring this out, being like, okay, you're really good at this. Let's double down on that, right? You always want to double down on your strengths and manage your weaknesses. And so they were doing that there's daily activities tied into their monthly financial needle, setting themselves up and the organization up for the maximum profit sharing check that month.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's
Love that.
beautiful. Right. And
Yes.
there was no emails put out, there was
No,
no new
no,
schedule done. They were just doing it on their own to make this as efficient as possible
for them, for each of them. Yes.
for the organization.
For the
Yeah.
organization. I work in a company. I'm director there and head of people. And it's with teal methodology, okay? And it's a small company now, and where everyone organizes themselves, the groups organize themselves. So it makes me, I love it because what you are building makes this type of organizations live.
Yeah.
Because they self-organize with a purpose that also then it's not only the purpose that the customer is going to be more happy, they are going to be more happy and everything, but it's because they all will get something out of it in abundance, let's say, no, money wise. So it's an additional incentive of this self leadership, of this self organization, and the caring of everyone else for the benefit of everyone.
100%. Yeah. It's a cool thing. Another thing I would tell people, and I think people think this all the time, is they go, well, statistically, the people aren't at their job for how much money they make, right? If you check the stats and if you go to Gallup and Google search,
Yes.
why do people work at companies, right?
No.
The pay is typically not number one.
No.
Number one can be, oh, I like the purpose of the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the culture. I like the leader, the boss there. They help me. I feel like a better person. My coworkers, our friendship, or they elevate my own personal life. There's the schedule. There's the location of the office to their house or whatever their commute is better. There's a lot of reasons that people work for companies that don't have to do with the pay. And my answer to that is to the business owners thinking about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're thinking about implementing a profit sharing program, or if they're thinking about, I don't know, spending more money and working on culture, or maybe the location of their building and helping people with their commutes or whatever the deal is, profit sharing improves culture. It improves
Mm-hmm. Yes.
unity, it improves friendships in your organization. It improves that cohesive feeling and purpose to our customers. Your customers are happier when they're dealing with people that are on profit sharing. So I know pay is not the number one in the Gallup stats of why someone works for a company, but it can improve the other metrics of all the reasons why people are working at your company. So it improves retention.
Yes.
People want to stay there because they're at a place where their income is not limited, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you're a painter in a marketplace in a city, there is a market kind of industry cap on what that painter can make, right? Or an estimator for a painting company can make. And you want to pay competitive in that marketplace. You don't want your people to leave because they can make more money somewhere else. So you want to be at the top end of that. But when you have profit sharing there too, you make their income limitless, right? The
Mm-hmm.
harder, more efficient, and the more teamwork they can put into your company and become leaders. And as a business owner, you got to be a good leader too and allow that to happen. They don't feel stuck. They don't feel like they've hit this ceiling of where they can go in life and then their income. And people stick around and help build that higher and higher all the time.
Yes. Yes. For themselves and everyone else, which is the
Yes,
beauty of it, which is
it
really
is.
the beauty of it. And then, yes, I love it. I really thank you for being here with me and joining in co-creation. I learned a lot. I really loved it. I love the model, and also I want to highlight the fact that when this podcast is about uniqueness, and co-creation, no, and about servicing others through our own experience. And you don't have to you don't have to create a project that has to do with I don't know, NGO, charity, or things to really positively impact the world. When we are creators anywhere. Art, projects, business, we are creators when we do it from the heart. So I can see in you, and I know because I recognize you, that you do it from the heart. You are changing life through who you are and what you create, and then you're positively impacting, because people are being positively impacted, changing their mindset and in their work, being more happy in their work. Their surroundings change because they're more happy in the work, because they belong to a team, and they together navigate towards purpose and their own purpose, not to really be who they are and create what they love. So to be themselves. So I really appreciate that, and very, very thankful for that. And also, I share with you that in the company where I am, we're looking into profit sharing, and for sure we will buy your book.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
At least.
It's a great
but
place to start.
yes.
Yeah, Jeannette, thank you for the kind words, and good luck with everything with your company on that. I could be of assistance to that if you guys need
Thank you.
so,
I know.
and keep it up. Keep up the good work with the podcast.
No, thank you. Thank you for co-creation and for everything you do, for everything you create, for being here.